Hey, how are you doing? You didn't expect this, did you? So what I'm doing is I'm gonna go through my paintings. It has nothing to do with ancient history except for my personal history. Now, if you want to know more about my history, you basically need to know that I've been painting for a long time. So basically, when you look at some of these paintings, you're gonna see probably before some of you were born. To be honest, these are the paintings that I've collected over time. This cat is in front of a mural that I did in Taipei. That cat's long gone. That was 20 years ago now. Really, 2000 and it's hard to remember when I did it. 2007. I guess not 20. So I did a lot of paintings. I'm not even gonna check the chat. So if you're chatting, okay, I did a sculpture once when I was Okay, this is where I went to community college. I almost got myself a degree in art, and this was kind of a sculpture class that actually uh, collapsed inside the kiln. Somebody messed it up. It's hard to believe what happened to that. You know, people doubt. People should focus on their own issues. So this is another mural I did in Taipei for a restaurant. If you don't know who that is, that's Charles Bukowski. Pretty famous picture that he's taken. If you search Charles Bukowski, you'll find that. And there's that mural. I kind of messed it up down here, but I really like the clouds and the mountains and the Italian cedars. Now that painting, believe it or not, comes from somebody that 50% of my audience hate their guts. But I'm about art. I don't care about the people. And I know that it's low resolution, but I got paid to do that for a friend. I got paid to do this for a restaurant that's long closed. Charles Bukowski. I got paid to do that, and the person who I did it for also is a YouTuber. He definitely was focused on the grand solar minimum for a while. Some paintings I was working on in Taipei that never really got like finished. Like I did sign them, but that didn't mean they were finished. I really love this one. I know that it's quite simple, but I do like that landscape, and I was really happy with that. Now I'm also interested in doing carpentry. I sometimes I come here and I hide inside this cabinet because I was working on it for like 2 weeks. It was started as the before side. If you notice, you got this pipe going through. That was the exhaust fan from their stove on the other side of this. And I even dedicated some really expensive wood, the bottom strip there and up here. And it was like I invested in their artwork. I wanted it to be the most successful kitchen upgrade they had had. Now, they still live there as far as I know. This is the hood to the stove. You can see the tea kettle. And after it was finished, I raised the hood up. So you can see I moved it up almost, looks like 6 inches. If not six, at least four. But I mean, that's four right there. So it's like a little bit more than four, like five or even six. And it's a long story, but I'm very proud of that work. And you can see it right there. They're using it. They probably have it more full. That's their coffee maker. We probably should have put a shelf across that to make more storage right there. But this is Taiwan. This is not America. So for some of the Americans, look at that and say that looks like crap. And you had to get through this little panel right here to get to the water. It's a very intricate thing. Um, Actually, this mural is in Taiwan. It's 10 foot wide by 5 foot tall, and that's the photo I based it off of. I mean, honestly, I could have done a better job, but I was doing a large piece, so it was about size. It was about big, and I like big. And then my brother, who passed away, commented on it. That's meaningful for me. I'll just move the comments out. There's that one, same one I did, and it's a little shiny. That doesn't really help. A friend of mine had me paint her dog, and the dog has passed away since. It's been a few years. Um, Steve Buscemi. This is the younger version. Actually, I'm not sure anymore. I'm pretty sure this is the young version. I've got another version where he looks a little older. And that's an art show that was done in Taipei, like in 2007, maybe. That is an art show I did in Palm Desert, California, on El Paseo. That painting, actually, my friend ended up getting that. I didn't sell it, and I gave it to him, and I think he threw it away. But it was on a wall in a show in Palm Desert, like in 89, 90, 91, 92. 92. This is a mural that's in. It was in Taipei, but I believe it's long gone. And I was just messing around, you know. I was going to try to keep working on it, but that didn't work out. Here's that same show, Fuji's Cafe. That's in Palm Desert, and look at me. I'm a lot younger. That guy has hair. And that was like 90, 92, 91. Believe it or not, I sold that. And this... Do you think it's a sunset or do you think it's a sunrise? I think it's pretty obvious. I know it's low resolution. I didn't even have a digital camera back then. We didn't have smartphones. This is something I was working on, just messing around. And of course I did that for free. I did that for somebody. A bird. That story is actually in one of my books that I wrote. Available on Amazon. It was the oil sands of Alberta. And that painting was there too. And that's pretty old now. That's like, gosh, it's a 2000. It's like 2005. So almost 20 years ago, really. A little bit less than 20, like 17, 16 years ago. And the painting behind it was, of course, Mount Fuji in Japan. And I love that painting. I don't know what happened to it. Now, this went to a friend, not really a friend, but a guy I knew in Joshua Tree. And he liked that Joshua Tree. And I gave it to him. Now, I do know that my brother fucked him over. My brother was like that. I don't talk about my brother too much. This is a painting that my friend asked me to paint. He had like a picture I copied, and I added some of my own stuff to it. And it's not very high resolution. It hangs in Taipei to this day. This painting actually did a long time ago, like in 1991, 92. And it's of an ex-friend of mine. And El Mestizo, no? I mean, that's a Guatemalan guy that I know. He never liked that version of it, but I thought it was pretty good for a painting I did in 5 minutes. And this was in Taiwan. I did it. I can't zoom in. See, these are all zoomed in, and they're still so small. This was actually not something I did. That's a sticker that someone created from a painting. They made a big mural. And that's my signature down in the corner. So I did do the painting. Something I did in like 1996, 97. Can't believe I've got the Citizen Fish t-shirt. And very low res. That's me. Now, this was based on the oldest photograph taken in Monterey, California. And it was I really liked my work. But I never finished it. There were some people right in the middle standing out here. There's a bunch of people running around. I never put them in. But these adobes and the old mission. This was before Carmel Mission. This painting was, this painting was based on a photograph, and the photograph is like almost 200 years old now. It's very old, like early 1800s. And I was into that. Somebody asked me to, now this dude's had more kids since, so there's like 3 more children. This is also Monterey. It's based on old photographs. Some project we did in Taipei, and that was part of it. I actually sold this. So simple. So, like, it took me 3 brush strokes, right? Not really 3, but, you know, I did the brown, I did the purple, I did the sky. There's white in that sky, so 4 brush strokes. There's white in that purple. I love it, and the person that bought it was a friend. They took it, and I gave them a second one for like $50. Now this is, oh my god, this is a dark story. You know, I gave this painting to a friend of mine in Taipei. Now, I don't feel guilty talking about this. Notice how I signed both sides. It's kind of a tricky little painting. I carried this to Taiwan from the United States. I did it in like 92, 93, 94, whatever. I think 90. This is that same art show, like 91. A very old painting. And I gave it to a guy in Taiwan. Well, his girlfriend committed suicide shortly thereafter. And sometimes I wonder if the painting caused this. And it was kind of a sad story. This is that same show. I was just messing around with abstract shapes, and then I did this in this was in 2000 and, wow, can't remember the year. I left Taiwan after SARS, like 2004. I think I did this in like 2004. And these paintings also, just random kind of sketches. I showed you that one already. That one's from 91, 92. This is me doing a painting in the, I forgot the name of the park. The cultural park, Wenhua, right? The cultural park in Taipei. Used to be the tobacco and also alcohol factory, but it turned into like an art village, and I painted that on the back wall and got paid. Something I was just messing around with, you know, just kind of like sketching. This is a mural I did in 2000 and 2001 in Taipei. It was on the wall. My landlord asked me to do it, and this, I'll show you the rest of it coming soon. But I was using a sponging technique, so it wasn't hard, and I kind of missed that. It got dilapidated by humidity, and I guess they painted over it. Again, I was messing around with this mouth. You saw another painting with the same mouth but different eyes, and that's me, like 1992, looking like Billy Idol, right? And this guy, yeah, he's so angry at that plant. He's so angry. That was not a painting, but a print, a big mural of one of my paintings. Who knows where that painting is? It's in Taipei somewhere. You find it, you let me know. You find it, you let me know. 2003, I think I kind of I kind of forwarded it. I think I did that a little earlier. I was doing that in the States. I think I took it with me. I don't want to talk about that asshole. There's that one mural I did in 2000, and I sometimes hide in there. I just go in there and hide. Even though this painting's gone now. But sometimes I just go inside these little rooms and hide. Now this one, I did it in the desert. Actually very close to where I am now. At this undisclosed location. I got really lucky with the moon and the clouds in the sky. The mountains are so-so. But they're exaggerated, and I do like them because they do match the mountains that you see out there. Those are very meaningful for me. This painting, I don't know if I could find it. I don't know where it happened to it, but it probably doesn't exist anymore. Maybe I even painted over it, you know. But I do like that painting, and I do like that moon. and I miss that. And you know, the thumbnail to this, here's the thumbnail. This is like my standby um, landscape that I do. It's a very simple design. Been doing it my whole life, really. But this is a little different, but it's still from the same era because I lived out in the desert. I sold that for like $100. Somebody actually liked that and they put it on their wall. And this one for me is a little sarcastic, ironic. You know, there's also, if you look at the face, you've got three shapes, but it also incorporates that whole thing I was doing with the desert mountains. And I forgot what happened to that. Somebody wanted me to do it, so I just knocked it out. And actually, believe it or not, here's some story that went to a coffee shop in the desert, and somebody got like murdered in that coffee shop. It was a very sad story. I did that in 2001. I believe it or not, I think I was in the USA at the time because I spent a lot of time outside the USA. This is actually some video. I don't even know what to say about this. Can I play it? This was a painting I did. It's a self-portrait, believe it or not. But something I did with that. It's just a little thing I was doing. Now, I did want to do more pop art, and Napoleon Dynamite's brother and Napoleon Dynamite. I am proud of those paintings. But to be honest, pop art in general is not really the direction you want to go. You want to go with... I like photorealism and things that you see. Like when you look at this, you out of the corner of your eye, you feel like it's real. I know the resolution is poor because it's a very bad photograph. But when I look at that, I really feel like I'm in Japan. You know? And this is something I'm kind of proud of. It was a mural, but just the bush. This was the brushwork I was doing. Just a quick bush, you know, in the middle of the desert. Like these bushes here behind the cat. Same story. And the burning bush, yeah, it's been a long time. That's like, I did that in 2007, I guess. Maybe 2004. And it was just a simple mural on the guy's wall. Probably long gone. I heard they moved and that got painted over, probably. This one, I sold it. It was just a postcard I was doing. I was trying to paint pop art, and I was using techniques that would, you know, make things easy and simple and cartoonish in a way. I actually dated her. That's my ex-girlfriend. And this painting was loved by several people. And the way it looks back there, I just, to me, these trees, I can get lost in those. I can get lost in those trees. Forget the cow. But I can get lost in that horizon right there. To me, that's nice. I like to stare at it. I know that you probably don't know where I'm coming from. I'm just going to grab it right now. Forget the cow, right? But that right there, to me, that's a $1 million painting. I think you know that you think I'm crazy, but anyways, next, I was doing some pop art using a sponging technique in the back, and it's kind of a Vietnam painting, and this one right here, you know, I love this. I messed it up, so I added the signature digitally. I messed this painting up, you know. I thought it was nailed, and I know what I would have changed now. I would have added some black right there and made it more cartoonish. But now this painting's, it's been destroyed. This is a painting I did from my experience living in Guatemala. La India, I called it. This one, another one of them pop arts. Because I was doing a lot of flying, and so I was collecting stuff from the airports in Hong Kong. And so a lot of these come from like pictures I collected in Hong Kong. Now, this one right here is kind of meaningful for my desert life. I lived in the desert many years. Now, I never lived in a trailer like this. 2008, I did this picture, and it's meaningful for me because of where I do come from. Like there's Napoleon. I did that painting along with his brother, and while it's not perfect, you know, I do take a lot of pride in that. This was my brother's house. I gave him this painting. He actually paid me for a bunch of paintings, so I can't say that they were all given to him. He paid me like a few $100 one day. I was like so happy because I needed the money. This wasn't one of them, but it was on his wall. He's gone. He died, and it brought me back from Taiwan. This one also was in my grandmother's house, and I was thinking I could get that back. I wanted to work on the white part a little bit, add a few lines to make it look a little bit more realistic. But this is Monterey. I love back there. Like, forget the foreground. This was off a photograph, and my favorite part is right there. I guess I don't know how to get rid of that. Okay, come on. That's sad. Let's get out of there. There we go. Let me go back though, because I wanna go in there and show you. Honestly, I love that part right there. Like that alone, I could just stare at that, and I think I nailed it. I mean, I know that you probably don't think it's that great, but I do feel I nailed it. I'm just gonna grab that real quick. I'm gonna do a quick right there, and yeah, I wish I could have worked on the fence a little longer. But I think I nailed that part right there. I want to put that as my YouTube picture. Let me do that one more time. There we go. I love that. I don't know why, but I think that was probably some of my best work right there. Anyways, yeah, Hervé. Love Hervé. Love Ricardo Montalban. I met Ricardo. I met him before he died in Claremont, California. And Hervé Villachez, you know, I'm from the 70s, the 80s. There's those two paintings I mentioned. I guess I put them together. And of course, if you don't recognize him, I mean, I was talking about pop art. I love this painting. I did it in Taiwan, believe it or not. I did that in 2001. And it was like the one painting I did that year. I don't think I did any other paintings. All right, let me see if I have any chat. Anybody chatting me up? I'm not gonna try to open it. I probably will end up privatizing this video. I don't even know. Oh, it's not monetized. Ooh, I should have monetized it. Alright, let me see what's going on here. And see if I have any chatters. Anybody chatting me up? Chatting me up. Nobody. See? And I only have one thumbs up. Alright, well, there you go. See, that proves it. That proves it. Nobody likes art. Not even a single chat. Hi. There you go. That's me. So I'm gonna finish this up. I did this painting in the military. I was like 1989, 90. I think 1990 I did this painting. This was one of the very first acrylic paintings I did. What is going on here? Oh, thank you. Okay, so I got people bugging me on Facebook. That was unnecessary. Luckily, it wasn't anything naughty. I do this painting for me. This was a photograph a friend had. This says Taiwan. This says Taipei, right? That was something weird I did. I got some money for another version of it. And I do believe this was Mexico. Lots of paintings of Mexico. This was actually almost 5 foot by 5 foot. And it got stretched. So it was actually, I think I showed a version of it. Here I am painting it. And then you see it later signed and in Taipei. You know, I actually think I sold that. I don't know what happened to it. I took it to some like yard, like a sale, an art an art thing. I was doing an art thing in like Palm Desert. We're talking like 1991, 92, and I think I sold that. It's horrible. Now this one I did sell, and I sold that. This is the old version. It doesn't look like him anymore. You know, that's the problem. I had another version, and I kept going back and forth, and then I thought, screw it. It's sold. It's done. Whether or not it looks like him. Now, this one, I did sell that, you know, and it's hanging in someone's home right now. And was sent to me, this picture. I guess I gave or sold that painting to somebody. I'd like to paint that right there. Boom. There you go. Pearl, her name was. Pearl was a sweetheart. I met Pearl. I know Pearl. She passed away. This cat also passed away, and I painted it for the person, somebody related to the person who. And yeah, anyways, we're almost done. This is a short-term studio I had in Taipei. Actually, Taoyuan, Guishan, Turtle Mountain. You can see that I always did the same kind of work. Oh, there it is. That one is actually wider than I remember. I guess I cropped it. So there's a door. So it shows you how big that is. This is actually a better painting. This is the one I should put onto. I should probably replace that. I mean, if you could show a door next to it. I don't want to mention who that belongs to. Yep, I love this. I took this picture in Thailand, and then I changed the sky and some other stuff. The sky is a little bit unrealistic. I think it's still nice though, you know. It still emotes a feeling. And like I said, this one here is 10 foot wide and 5 foot tall. It's probably the largest painting I've ever painted. This one, okay, I do like this painting, but it didn't really match the true colors of that mountain. But it was of Africa. I'd never been to Africa before. I have since. And there's another painting there that I'm really proud of. That's long gone. And she blocked me on Facebook. Those are my paintbrushes. I'm proud of that. That's my art studio. Proud of that. I sold it. So yeah, I gave that one away. That's my education. That was from Taiwan. I'm really, like, let me save that. I like that one, right? That one is really nice. It gives you a good feeling. The feeling there, the emotion. Now this one I did in 1990. It was more Picasso-esque. And I do believe I recently gave that away or still have it. You know, it's just like paintings don't really make a lot of money. But I think I got that was not by me. I did not do that. Somebody else did that. I did that. And I took that picture. I don't even know how I took that picture. Was I holding the camera, or did somebody else take the picture? 1994, that's a long time ago, right? So I've been doing paintings for a while. That's 30 years right there. I did that painting 30 years ago. I sold that. A restaurant closed, unfortunately. The best food in a restaurant in Taoyuan, in Taipei. These pictures come from a long time ago. 1996. 1996, 97 maybe. Maybe 97. This was when I was moving, and that painting in the back was just sponge work. Just pure crap. That's me crying because I didn't make it as an artist. That's Taipei. That's Shinju. That's Shinju. That's probably Taipei. That's my most expensive work right there. Is she Persian? You know she's Persian, right? Alright, guys. I just wanted to say hi and give you something a little bit more about me. Y'all have a nice evening. I did not add any music to this, did I? No, I did not. Old stuff. Old. Some of my favorite stuff. I'm going to go redo that stuff just so I can have it again. Even though it's not the same as the original, I can redo it and I can have a happy life. You don't need to... Is this a... I think we're going over it again. So let us get out of here. Thank you. Bye.